High value trials, absolutely critical to the growth and development of your business, okay? They have to present enough value to the consumer that they want to be on board. So some of the things we'll talk about the steps on how we make this work. First off, ask yourself as a consumer, what would catch my attention? What would cause me to take action today? 1 free session, not likely. 10 sessions, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe, okay? Particularly if that normal value of that service is significantly higher. So for instance, if you charge $60 a session and 10 sessions would be $600, could you afford to give 10 sessions for $97? Because, I mean, that's a substantial savings. It's 80% or more discount, right? So would anybody in here be willing to go buy, let's say, a 70-inch LCD TV at Best Buy today if it was 80% off and you knew there'd be no hassle to go there and pick it up? The only thing is you had to drive from here to the West End to Edmonton to save $2,500. Would anybody in here not be interested in that deal? Of course you would do that, because every single one of us knows that whether you want the TV or not, you could leverage it, turn around and sell the thing on Kijiji and make a few bucks. Right? That's the point, is that it seems like the odds are in our favor to win. So you need to make offers for your clients that are the same way. Make them feel like, and genuinely, the offer is in their favor to win. Because when somebody buys one of these high value trials, it's our job to impress upon them and build the relationship to get them to continue. Okay, but we cannot sell this offer with obligation, because if you do, it negates the whole value of the offer. So aggressive price point. Real value, enough to get people to act. It's also why semi-private and group PT is essential to your business, because that's how we win. So this has to be win-win on both sides. Okay, we win because if it's semi-private or group PT, you should already have paying customers in that program, that by adding more people to that program, your net cost, what am I trying to say here? The increase of cost is zero, okay? It's going to cost you nothing to add a person to that session, because you're already paying yourself or somebody to teach these other clients in that session. So if you don't currently have semi-private or group PT, start, okay? Because I can tell you right now, for the next, if you run an offer like this and we could recruit 10 people that you ultimately divide into 5 sessions of 2 people, it's worth it to work for free or for pennies per hour for the next 2 to 3 weeks to set up this system and get it rolling. One of the first things I tell brand new trainers, okay, so you're just starting in the industry. And I know many people can relate to this when you start in the industry. You want to get your first couple of clients, okay, and you don't really know how, so you print your business cards, you print your brochures, you put them up at the gym, and you hope that people will start calling, and you hope that you get your clients. You sit around the phone, you play around on the internet, maybe throw up a crappy website, and keep wondering why the phone isn't ringing. But imagine if you had just simply committed to spending 8 hours at the gym each day. And imagine if all you did for 8 hours each day was walk around the gym and correct people biomechanically, tell them how great they were doing, tell them how they could improve their workout that day, and didn't expect a penny in return. Let me ask you, out of those 2 scenarios, which trainer do you think is going to get booked up the fastest? The one in the gym or the one sitting by the phone? Absolutely, right? So the most profitable trainers are the ones that get busiest the fastest, even if you're working for free. So even in your home studio, put an ad on Kijiji, and this is exactly goes back to this. Hey, get 10 sessions for $27. I don't care what it is. Work for free for the first couple weeks to simply get enough people in your network to build a relationship so we can convert them. And that's this last point. So high perceived value, bonuses, and extra attention. So, for instance, one-to-one fitness, okay? We need new clients, so we run an offer like this. Now, you could join our normal one-on-one training program, or you could join our secret beta program for the next 5 weeks, where we're going to test this one new idea. And in addition to our normal services, you're going to get this extra recipe book. You're going to get 3 emails a week from me just to see how you're doing. You're going to get 2 phone calls a week from my assistant, who's going to check up on you, make sure your meal plans are on target, and just to see how you're doing so that we can help you out even more. Which one would you rather buy? Neither? Everybody's thinking about it?
Beta.
Of course, right? Everybody wants the new greatest thing, okay? And they want to be that special person that gets the bonuses and the extra attention. So you can see it's a pretty easy process. And the beauty is that if you're struggling thinking, well, what new idea would I give my clients? The beauty of a beta program is they don't even necessarily have to know what that is. The very idea of your beta program could be that you're running a beta program, because you and everybody in this room is then testing something new that they haven't done with their clients before. Okay, and I can guarantee that nobody in here is sending their client, well, maybe some of you are, but I'd be surprised, sending their clients 4 or 5 emails a week or things like this. And you can automate it all. Okay, if you're not using FitPro newsletter, please go to my website, profitablepersonaltrainer.com, go to Business Essentials, and buy Bedros' FitPro newsletter. Okay, it is like by far the best email marketing product out there for our industry. I mean, it's so done for you. I mean, it almost, honestly, when he released the new version, it pissed me off, because I'm like, man, dude, I've given you thousands of dollars to learn this stuff and figure out how to apply it, and you just built it in so anybody can do this in minutes. But good for you guys, right? Because you have that whole business system built for you, just have to execute. Like in his new product, exactly what we're talking about, and what I said yesterday, he's made famous, the 14, 21, and 28-day fat loss. Like the emails are already written. All you have to do is go in there, click, 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 send. It's like so easy. Okay, so we talked about this a little bit yesterday. You'll notice I've added a couple of things here. We're going to talk about exactly how 3-point conversion works. And most of us, and I did it wrong for years, all right? So when we do, let's say we're doing a 21-day rapid fat loss, like we talked about in the last slide. You get this beta program or trial program going, and I mean, any of you, list or no list, could start that tomorrow using a Kijiji ad, print or online classified of any kind, a Facebook ad. You could easily find 10 prospects tomorrow that'd be willing to come train with you either for free for 3 weeks or for $27, $47, or $97. I can guarantee. Now, I say free a lot because when I was starting out, and I still believe this, just like I said, the guy that gets busiest the fastest wins. So at free, you're going to get some shitty leads, okay? And accept that. It's part of the game. But the closer it is to free, the more leads you get. The more expensive it is, the less leads you get. So what we need to find over time is that happy medium that gets you just the right number of leads that you can handle and the most qualified prospects. So you're not going to create new programs. You're simply going to give it a different name. Maybe sometimes don't even give it a different name. Repackage and repeat. So you become an expert of the process.
So on something like that, the $27, $47, $97, can you test to do a better program in different communities? Because if let's say Edmonton, you have more affluent community, kind of like what Bedros does, the free boot camp for his neighborhood kind of deal. Can you just test something like that out in different communities as well?
Of course. Yeah, of course. The point is like let's say you pick a 21-day program, and to this market that happens to be the 18 to 27-year-old market, it becomes the 21-day rapid fat loss boot camp. Okay, but then next week you want to send an offer out maybe by postcard to a more affluent market. It becomes, the 21-day metabolic makeover, right? And it's the exact same program, but it just goes back to what we talked about yesterday in identifying your most likely customer and perhaps using the language that's going to communicate best with them. And the price point is going to be a huge factor in that, because if you sent the 97 or 197 offer to the 20 or 18 to 27-year-olds, it's like that would probably be a disconnect because they don't necessarily want to pay for it, right? But the affluent market, if you send them a free offer, they may ignore it thinking that this has no value to me. Why would I even bother with this, right? So it really is that a bit of trial and error of finding what is the right thing. Okay, none of that matters without this. So when we do these high-value offers, who in here has done trial offers and you wait till the end of the program to ask people if they want to continue? Exactly, we all have, right? And it's completely backwards. And the proof is in the pudding. I mean, I've actually tracked this. These are real numbers that I know that this is what people tend to do in those situations. Now, if the only offer you're giving them is here, it's going to be higher than this, but it's definitely not going to meet these overall numbers. So you need to, the very first thing when people come in and you have given them a 21-day program with all these extra bonuses, your objective and your responsibility is to present them a continuation offer right there. And it's your responsibility because you're a good trainer and you want to sincerely make sure that they reach their goals. And every single one of us knows in here that you are not going to reach your goal in 2, 3, 4, or 5 weeks. That's simple. These people need to be in your trusted circle of influence for a period of time. So on day one, when we give them a continuation offer, it has to be structured a certain way. What we find it works best is that you need to present them approximately 2 to 3 times the value of what you're asking for. So if I want you to pay $200 a month, I need to present you with approximately $400 to $600 worth of initial upfront value if I want you to continue today. This can be done a variety of ways. Okay, we can simply slash our price on the first month, giving them a deep discount, which don't ever be tempted to discount the whole program. Okay, I've had a couple of clients that have really struggled with that and have done that. And, you know, each one of you, if you really ask yourself, as consumers, we don't care. What we want is to satisfy our need for instant gratification. We want the deal now. You know, I don't care about next month. I don't care what it costs. Sure, if you're going to give me a deal, I'm going to take it, but it isn't going to be a factor in my purchasing decision today. So usually we would do a deep discount first month and a very, very small ongoing discount, maybe 5, maybe 10% at most. Okay, but the other ways that you can add value are all kinds of perceived value bonuses. I had a coaching client out of Vancouver that actually got on the phone with Pat, and this is just how amazing his nutritional stuff is. You know, he got on the phone with Pat for an hour using freeconferencecall.com, recorded the call, and it became nutrition coaching with North American bodybuilding champion Pat Lessard out to his clients for, you know, a $97 value. So, and that audio cost him, well, I don't think it cost him anything because he uses Skype even, so he didn't even pay long distance charges. Right? So, I mean, you can develop these things for free. I mean, we got 20, 30 awesome fitness pros in this room that if you guys simply exchanged your emails and phone numbers today, imagine the database of information you could collect if you simply took the next 2 weeks to get on the phone with each person in here for 20 minutes and did a 10-minute interview for each person, record the whole conversation, okay, and then exchange those conversations and compile them and say, I asked 30 experts as to what they thought about blah, blah, blah topic. Okay? Don't you think that would have value to your clients? Don't you think that not only would it have value for them, but it would also reinforce your credibility because you're one of 30 experts that contributed to this conversation? What a great way to convert people. And I can tell you, historically, 80% of people will take that offer on day one if it's set up correctly. My water is here. Okay, so those that don't want to take the offer, it's totally fine. Let them continue, jump into the program. That's totally great. That's the whole point of the high value program. Okay, get them to come out and try your services so you can develop a relationship with them. Midway through the program, you have to call them. Okay, and the purpose of the call is always a feedback call. Mrs. Jones, I'm just calling today. I've seen you out for training now 2, 3 times. You look like you're doing great. I think you're having some success, but I wanted to be sure. Tell me what you love about the program so far. Okay? Note that I set her up for positive feedback. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get positive feedback, but you always go in this with a positive mind. So you want to position people in a positive mind. If they say so if she gives you, scenario 1, Mrs. Jones, I love the program. I'm having so much fun. I absolutely love this. Mrs. Jones, you didn't want to get on board on day 1, but you can see now why you need this and why you're enjoying the program. I would really love to see you stay after the program. So why don't you get on board now? Okay, here's the offer. You can trade the rest of your program, upgrade to this, blah, blah, blah. Get on board with the program. Okay, many Mrs. Jones that didn't take offer on day 1 will take the offer at the feedback stage. Now let's flip to scenario number 2. Mrs. Jones is like, you know what, I came to class, and I really quite like it, but you started late. You know, I noticed you really paid attention to this person, and I was struggling, I needed more help. Oh my God, Mrs. Jones, I am so sorry. I totally didn't realize that this was happening. I'm so committed to you. I always want to improve, and I always want to make it better. So please, keep coming to class, and let's work on this, and let's make it better for you. By the way, I want to make good on this. And you and I both know you're not going to reach your goals in 3 weeks. Guess what? I'm going to give her the same offer. Okay, and that's what I mean. Stop creating and become an expert and deliver the same thing over and over and over again. Okay, because the more proficient you become, the better it's going to be received by the consumer, and the more people are going to opt to take the offer. Does this make sense so far? Okay. At the final phase of the program, we do our last ditch effort. We throw out a final offer, and this one, you know, you can spend the time for calling. You could even, in this case, pretty much email it to them, because the conversion rates are going to be pretty low. You should have already collected most of the people that are ready to convert, and it really is that last ditch effort. And the one key variable in the last ditch effort to get any conversion at all is scarcity. You know what, Mrs. Jones, you're one of 6 people in the program that didn't convert, and I only got 2 spots left. I really need you to make a decision right away if you want to get on board so I can secure your spot.